Yo, what is up, everybody? It's me. Let me tell you, I am so hyped to take you with me on this journey. We're about to dive headfirst into the heart of China, a country that's like stepping into a time machine, but like a really awesome time machine with insane skyscrapers and bullet trains. We're talking ancient wonders, mega cities that'll blow your mind, and food, oh man, the food is next level. From the bustling streets of Shanghai to the serene mountains of Guilin, get ready to explore the best this country has to offer. Welcome to China, a land of timeless beauty, modern marvels, and unforgettable experiences. From breathtaking skylines to serene landscapes, this is your ultimate guide to the best and most beautiful cities in China that every traveler should explore. All right, first stop, Shanghai. This city, man, it's like New York City on steroids. We're talking towering skyscrapers that seem to touch the clouds, crazy neon lights everywhere you look, and a pace of life that'll leave you breathless. But here's the thing about Shanghai, it's not just about the modern stuff. You walk down one street and you're surrounded by these futuristic buildings, then you turn a corner and bam, you're in the middle of an ancient temple, incense burning, people praying, like stepping back in time. This city is a trip, a total sensory overload in the best way possible. Okay, so when you're in Shanghai, you gotta check out the Bund. This waterfront promenade is iconic, with colonial-era buildings on one side, and the insane skyline of Pudong, with the Oriental Pearl Tower stealing the show on the other. Trust me, the view, especially at night, is something else. Now, if you're a shopaholic, Nanjing Road is your jam. It's like Times Square met a Chinese market, with everything from high-end boutiques to street vendors selling all sorts of cool stuff. And speaking of markets, you can't miss the Yew Garden Bazaar. It's a maze of alleys and stalls selling traditional crafts, souvenirs, and some of the best street food you'll ever taste. Oh, and the food. Let's talk about the food. Shanghai is a foodie paradise, seriously. From steaming bowls of hand-pulled noodles to juicy soup dumplings, your taste buds are in for a treat. Don't be afraid to try everything, even the stuff that looks a little weird. You might just discover your new favorite dish. One thing I loved about Shanghai was how easy it is to get around. The metro system is super efficient and cheap. Plus, they have these shared bikes everywhere, so you can zip around like a local. Next up, we're heading to Beijing, the capital of China, a city that's practically overflowing with history and culture. I'm talking centuries of emperors, dynasties, and legends, all packed into one sprawling metropolis. It's a place where you can literally feel the weight of the past all around you. First things first, you can't go to Beijing without experiencing the Great Wall of China. This iconic structure, snaking its way across the mountains, is truly awe-inspiring. Standing on top of those ancient stones, looking out over the vast landscape, it's like you can almost hear the echoes of history. Then there's the Forbidden City, a sprawling palace complex that was once home to emperors for over 500 years. Walking through those golden-roofed halls and courtyards, you can't help but be transported back in time. It's like stepping into a history book, only way more impressive in person. But Beijing isn't just about ancient history. The city also boasts some seriously cool modern architecture, like the Bird's Nest Stadium and the CCTV headquarters, which looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. And of course, no trip to Beijing would be complete without indulging in some Peking duck. This dish, with its crispy skin and tender meat, is a true culinary masterpiece. Seriously, it's worth the trip to Beijing just for the duck. Oh, and don't forget to explore the hutongs, these narrow alleyways lined with traditional courtyard houses. It's like stepping back in time, with locals going about their daily lives, kids playing in the streets, and street vendors selling all sorts of goodies. All right, guys, get ready to have your minds blown because Guilin is like stepping into another world. Imagine this, towering karst mountains rising up from the earth, shrouded in mist, their reflections shimmering in the tranquil waters of the Li River. It's like something out of a Chinese painting, only a million times more breathtaking in person. Cruising down the Li River is a must-do in Guilin. As you glide along the water, passing by those iconic peaks, bamboo forests, and tiny villages, you'll feel all your stress melt away. It's the kind of scenery that makes you want to whip out your camera and snap a million pictures, but honestly, no photo can do it justice. But Guilin isn't just about the scenery. This region is also home to the Yao and Zhuang ethnic minority groups, each with their own unique culture and traditions. Make sure to check out some of the local villages to experience their way of life. From their colorful clothing, to their traditional music and dance. One of the coolest things I did in Guilin was take a bamboo raft ride down the Yulong River. It's a much more intimate experience than the larger boats on the Li River, and you really get a sense of the peace and tranquility of the area. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even rent a bike and explore the countryside on your own. Pedal through rice paddies, past water buffalo grazing in the fields, and discover hidden caves and waterfalls. Okay guys, buckle up because we're headed to Chengdu, the land of pandas and spicy food. I'm talking about the kind of spice that'll make your mouth water and your eyes water at the same time. But trust me, it's the good kind of pain. First things first, you can't go to Chengdu without visiting the Chengdu research base of giant panda breeding. Seriously, it's like panda heaven. You'll see these adorable creatures munching on bamboo, playing with each other, and just generally being their lazy, cuddly selves. It's impossible not to smile when you're around these guys. But Chengdu is more than just pandas, although they are pretty awesome. The city is also known for its laid-back vibe and its delicious Sichuan cuisine. We're talking fiery hot pots, mouth-numbing mapo tofu, and dan dan noodles that'll have you sweating and grinning at the same time. Don't worry, they also have plenty of non-spicy options if you can't handle the heat. One of my favorite things about Chengdu was just hanging out in the tea houses. These traditional gathering spots are everywhere, and they're the perfect place to relax, sip on some tea, and watch the world go by. You'll see locals playing mahjong, chatting with friends, and just generally enjoying life. It's a great way to experience the slower pace of life in Chengdu. Hangzhou, man, this city is like stepping into a poem. It's known as heaven on earth for a reason, and let me tell you, it lives up to the hype. We're talking serene lakes, lush green hills, ancient temples, and a sense of peace and tranquility that's hard to find in other cities. The star of the show in Hangzhou is West Lake, and for good reason. This sprawling lake, surrounded by hills and dotted with islands and pagodas, is simply magical. You can take a boat ride across the water, stroll along the scenic paths, or just find a quiet spot and soak up the beauty. Trust me, it's the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. But Hangzhou isn't just about natural beauty. The city is also steeped in history and culture. Make sure to check out the Lingyan Temple, one of the most important Buddhist temples in China, and the Leifeng Pagoda, which offers stunning views of the lake and surrounding area. And if you're a tea lover, you're in for a treat. Hangzhou is famous for its Longjing tea, also known as dragon well tea, which is grown in the hills around the city. You can visit a tea plantation, learn about the tea-making process, and of course sample some of the freshest, most delicious tea you'll ever taste. Last but not least, we're heading to Xi'an, a city that's practically bursting at the seams with history. This is the eastern starting point of the ancient Silk Road, a place where empires rose and fell, where cultures collided, and where legends were born. It's a city that's both ancient and modern, a place where the past and present coexist in a way that's both fascinating and inspiring. The highlight of any trip to Xi'an is, of course, the Terracotta Army. This army of thousands of life-size terracotta soldiers, horses and chariots, buried with the first emperor of China over 2,000 years ago, is one of the most incredible archaeological discoveries of all time. Standing in front of these silent warriors, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder. But Xi'an is more than just the terracotta army. The city is also home to the ancient city walls, which you can actually walk or bike on, offering incredible views of the city. And make sure to explore the Muslim Quarter, a vibrant neighborhood with a history dating back over 1,000 years. You'll find mosques, street food stalls selling all sorts of delicious snacks, and a unique blend of cultures that's unlike anything you've ever experienced. So there you have it, guys, my whirlwind tour of some of China's most incredible cities. From the futuristic skyscrapers of Shanghai to the tranquil beauty of Guilin, from the pandas of Chengdu to the ancient wonders of Xi'an, this country has something for everyone.